Hey everybody, Troy here. Today we're going to look at swell shapes. Not all of them, just the ones that I like to use and that seem to work well for me. The idea with swelling, love it or hate it, is that it's necessary a lot of times. So if you don't have a synth player, as a guitar player, you're probably going to bear a lot of the load for creating the ambient sound in the worship genre. And that's fine. Swelling can be great, can be a lot of fun. I wouldn't let anyone talk you into it being a bad thing. So a couple rules of thumb: use delay and reverb, not just reverb. And roll your tone down on your guitar just a smidge. That will help out a little bit. So let's jump in. This is my bass tone. All right, so like I said, gonna wind that tone knob down some. I put about 4 or 5. I'm not gonna go into effect settings in this video. We'll save that for another time. Just going over some of my favorite shapes for swells. So we'll start with a low position swell. The idea here is to keep things big, but not so big, not choosing so many strings and so many notes that we're making it sound muddy. So we gotta pick the right notes and the right strings. Alrighty, the low position I like, we're in the key of G here, and I'm gonna play the first, so the root, and the third of this G bar chord. So think of our G bar chord like this. And I'm gonna play root and third, so the way I'm gonna play this is you can play it like this if you want to, but I play it with my thumb, and I'm just gonna strike the strings and use muting technique, so all you're hearing is the root and the third, and it's gonna sound like this. Now another way to play that one is to finger pick it. Now what's really fun about this one, as you hear the swell continuing in the background, is that if you're in the key of G or any key where the third of that chord is going to be a half step away from the next note in the major scale, you can do this cool little half step bend that'll give it just a little bit of flavor, and that sounds like this. Okay, so let's move up into a bit higher shape here. We're gonna play the root and the third of a G, but just higher up on the neck. All right, so for this example, we're thinking of this G chord here. And we're gonna play root, third. And we can finger pick it or we can strike it like before using muting technique. So let's strike it first. And now let's finger pick that one. And now let's try that little bendy thing. Okay, so let's play that one now in a C shape and a D shape, just so we can understand how to find it in different places.